Previously on Final Fantasy XVI.
Do you think he will ever come back?
I know he will. And we must be ready when he does.
She's like, drink the wine, Clive. Drink the wine. She's like, I'm no longer flirting. I'm just getting you drunk. I'm done trying.
To a world without mother crystals. To Sid.
I am so sorry, Jill. She's become an alcoholic. She's just like... Oh my god. She has to drink her troubles away. She's like, 5 long years! Just already! What do we have here? I wonder what magic breed of dog Torgor is that is healthy and young looking at 18 years. Technically a wolf. You know, it's been 5 years since they were reunited. Sid and virtually everyone else were playing wingmen. 5 years. Do you know how pent up she must be? I'm surprised she ain't just pouncing on him right there and then. And everyone would be, finally! Maybe seeing her fellow Rosarian women being used as playthings by soldiers tempered that drive. At least Jill was probably safe from that, given the Iron Kingdom considered dominant, sinful, and dirty. That was the only saving grace. Fun fact, women's sex drives get stronger as they age, or rather, it's strongest between the ages of 27 to 45. Yep, it's like... I think it's because the estrogen that was masked during adolescence becomes unmasked. So they get the full hit of estrogen, which is the female sex hormone. Which is basically like... Also, Kuma, do all the side quests pre-Skype. Did Kuma do? I think so. Where is my blonde soldier? Jill, where is my knight on a silver chocobo? Oh, Tifa, where is my blonde soldier? Jill, where is my knight on a silver chocobo? It's like, give me baby before I can't have baby drive. I mean, technically yes, that's what it is. The body's like, you know, it's programmed to do that. When you really think about it, guys are programmed to procreate. Our biggest motivator in life is sex. What does sex do? Creates a child. For women, it's like, put a baby in me. It's like, there you go. What a lot of people don't realize is that the programming we have is for that very specific purpose, to continue the human race. For example, females, the motivation being to have assets and resources and all these other things. That's so you can actually raise children and not have to worry about resources when you're pregnant and vulnerable. Same thing in when they're seeking out a partner that has resources and is able to protect them. That's because they're going to be vulnerable for 9 months while they're carrying an infant. It's completely rational. And the same thing with guys. Why do guys like wide hips? It's easier for childbearing. Why do guys like curves? Because it shows that the body has all the estrogen in it to produce children. It's all pre-programmed. Literally, it's like, why do guys like girls between the ages of like 20 to 25? Because they're fertile. It's not that complicated. Why do girls like masculine looking guys with like facial hair and stuff? Because it's masculine and it shows a lot of testosterone, which means they can probably produce a baby. We're just programmed for it. Better to be used as a weapon for war than a soldier's plaything, in my opinion. Yep, you do not want to know what happens to people that get used like that. They often end up just like they would in war, with fewer cuts, but the end result is kind of the same. I was thinking, Jill experienced a lot of bad things. Clive is fire and gives warmth to her. Clive had that fiery temper of revenge, and it was Jill who basically cools him down. Sid is that spark who connected them, even if I am off. I like to think of it that way. Well, Sid, I mean, yeah, he is. But it is also a little bit of circumstance, because Clive found Jill, and he would have wanted to protect her. He just wasn't able to in that moment because he was spent. But like, he would have protected her. I don't think you necessarily needed Sid for them to reconnect. I just think Sid being there was a good counterbalance, because Clive was so up in his head with guilt and chasing Joshua's killer and all this stuff, and Sid was kind of there to sort of snap him out of it, because Sid's probably seen it a million times, whereas Clive was still young, inexperienced, blaming himself, all up in his head and everything. And Jill kind of didn't know what to do. Like, she doesn't have that experience. What's she supposed to do? It's like, it's not your fault. It's like, but it is my fault. It's like, I've got no rational argument for this. Whereas Sid's kind of like, well, you got to live with it and move on. You got to do something about it. You can't just sit there feeling sorry for yourself, you know? Or you could just go neck yourself if you really want to. I'm not going to stop you. It's that type of thing. To quote a certain bartender, love is everything to a woman. It is but a chapter to a man. But to be real, that is because if you don't have love, the guy's not going to stick around for those 9 months and then help you raise the child. That's why it's programmed. Whereas for a guy, it's like, my job is to produce as many offspring as I can, not necessarily to raise them. Whereas for women, it's like, I need to raise these offspring. That's the thing. Not sure I agree with the quote, but I found it interesting. There's a little bit of truth in jokes and quotes, but I like that you get inspired to think, which is the main part.
Should be back by now.
If you're thinking, you're doing something. Alright, Gav. We're gonna give you an eye patch.
I hear there's trouble in Rosaria.
I am the trouble.
On autumn's breath, ill tidings born, an erstwhile home in twain are torn. Now in his path fell shades abide, pray let them not impede his stride.
Oh yeah, someone left something on your desk in your room, by the way. I have a desk?
Think it's alright to touch him?
I don't know. You go first.
Toggle's like, pat me! Pat me! Give me all the pats! Toggle's just like... Whereas Cheeky would be like, rub my titties! My dog's a slut. Ah, a bird by any other name. Ah! Forgive my insistence on writing you these silly letters. Jill's writing us letters? Oh my god! Would that we had more time to speak to each other in person. But for every day we spend together, it feels as though we must suffer another two apart. I am gladdened to hear of your most unexpected reunion with Ambrosia, or should I say Whiteheart. You told me once how your chocobo sacrificed herself to protect you that night at Phoenix Gate. And here, so many years later, we find she has spent her life doing the exact same thing, defending others. Some things never change, do they, Clive? Jill. Alright. Clive, I know this might seem like a letter about the bird, but it is not. You need to read in between the lines. Here, let me read this for you. Forgive my insistence on writing you these silly letters. Would that we had spent more time to speak to each other in person. But for every day we spend together, it feels as though we must suffer another two apart. And here, so many years later, some things never change, do they, Clive? Do they, Clive? P.S. You kept me waiting for so long. Will you spend some quality time with me? Some things never change. Ergo, the way that I felt those years ago hasn't changed. Damn it, Clive. Okay, but to be fair, guys do not naturally pick up on these little things because we don't think that deeply into them. For a guy, you basically just have to outright tell him, I'm sorry, but it is the truth. Even wolves rarely live this long. In both captivity and the wild, Torgal must be magic, inherently to not be showing any signs of old age. Torgal is time itself. Torgal is Odin. Torgal is Zeus. I feel like I'm supposed to add something. Oh, Ambrosia's tact. It's very nice. Now watch, someone that skipped the side quest is gonna complain they don't have all the collectibles. The irony in that just breaks my mind. I'm sorry, that just breaks my mind. I didn't get all the collectibles. I thought you didn't want to do side missions. I don't want to do side missions, but I want all the collectibles. P.S. Remember that night in the Chocobo stable where we can recapture the magic of that night? I feared the fires of romance between us will become as cold as Shiva's embrace. No, Shiva is effectively symbolic for the cold showers that Jill has to take every night. We live in a society where the young prioritize immediate satisfaction over building up to something. The internet doesn't help. It really doesn't. It's actually, there is a link between success and the ability to delay instant gratification, and also delay gratification in general. Because if you're able to shoot for long-term goals and delay instant gratification, you could probably achieve the bigger goals.
You think it's alright to touch him?
I don't know. You go first.
It's like, I want a six-pack, but I really want that chocolate too. It's like, well, you want to delay gratification or not? It's like, hey, I'll have it now. It's the Tim Tam. Every day. Where's my six-pack? I'm sorry. It's not coming. Now I'm imagining Jill using Shiva's powers or limit breaker to cool herself off. Yeah, she probably is. Poor girl. Oh, Gav! Go for it!
Breakers are returned.
Go for it, son!
Fine. Sid wouldn't be here if they were.
Okay, Final Fantasy and long hair. Let's be real. This is just impractical. At this point, it's not practical.
Ah, Clive! Oh, I've missed that scowl.
Where's my report?
Wow.
What, no kind words for your old pal Gav?
If it's kind words you're after, you're fishing in the wrong barrel. Now sit down, you fool.
Come on, Jill.
So, you remember how quick the Empire was to occupy the Dominion after the fall of Drake's head? And how pissed off all the other nations were that they didn't think to do it first?
Half a century of independence gone at the whim of a madman. So much for their bloody treaty.
Clearly, the promise of unblighted land and the world's supply of crystals was too much for his radiance to resist. And now the Republic's finally decided to follow suit, using liberation as an excuse to declare war on Sambrek. lined up right outside the Dominion's gates as we speak, looking to starve the Imperials into submission.
And now all eyes are on the Strait of Author.
While the two nations beat their shields, the rest sharpen their daggers, ready to set upon the war-weary victor. They'll never see us coming. It's time we moved on the mother crystals.
I like how Jill was the first one to look at him like... Jill was the first one to be like...
4 mother crystals remain in Storm and Ash. Drake's Breath near Ironhome. Drake's Fang in Dhalmekia. Drake's Spine in Waloed. And Drake's Tail here in the Crystalline Dominion.
With the bulk of the Republican army marching to Twinside, Drake's Fang will be left exposed.
That is exactly the move Kupka would anticipate. And if there is anything these past 5 years have taught us, is that he loves his traps. There is one place, however, where nobody will be expecting us to go.
Drake's Breath.
There's a shitload of sea between us and it, and I've never been much of a swimmer.
I have an acquaintance in Port Isolde who may be able to help.
Who's that then?
My uncle, BYRON ROSFIELD.
Lord BYRON ROSFIELD of the 7 High Houses, the trade magnate with holdings in over 100 cities. Wait, Rosfield. And you're a Rosfield, of course.
My uncle's name gave him his start in the world, but it was his acumen which earned him his fortune, along with a handsome fleet of ships.
Well, it's settled then. What are we waiting for, eh? Huh?
Yeah, what are we waiting for? Clive? So Clive has a rich uncle that somehow didn't buy him from slavery. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Branded a property. Otto's counter is now open. Otto works with the Moogle? New facilities. The following facilities are available. Alliant reports, the Patron's Whisper, the Hunt Board. Watch, Kuma's gonna do all the hunting quests. It's what he does.
What are we waiting for, indeed?
Yeah! 'Tis the question! The fruits of her labors. Wait, are you going on a date? Hope he's on his father's side. God, we hope he's not on the mother's side. Off limits, that means you. To be fair, Clive was property of the state. I doubt they would have let a noble heir like Clive be sold. Wasn't he just thrown in the Legion as a normal bearer? And then they plucked him out because they realized he was useful?
Won't be long now, Martel. They'll try your apple soon enough. Sid, I was hoping to speak to you.
Is everything all right?
Oh, yeah, it's just, well, as you know, we've been trying to grow fruit down here.
It's good to know that something of the old hideaway still lives on.
Martel's pride and joy. It was a sapling when she rescued it from the rubble, but look at it now. All our hard work's finally paying off. I took it on, you see, after she died, and now the fruit's finally ready to eat. And not only is it ready, it's actually tasty. Sweet as you like, in fact. She bred the bitter right out of it.
Impressive. And welcome news to more than a few, I'd say.
I thought this first harvest could go to the curse breakers, on account of all they do for the hideaway. You couldn't take them some, could you? Seems better them coming from you.
be nice being the bearer of good news for a change.
Oh, thank you. She always had a soft spot for that lot, see? And once they've had their share, I'll see to it that everyone else gets some. Here you go. Martell apples, they're called, in honour of her memory. You hear that, Martell? Today's finally the day.
He was thrown into the normal army, got promoted to assassin squad. I assume all the bearers of the normal army are just property of the state. Heh, I get it, Clive, the bearer of good news. Heh. Alright, time to deliver some apples. If we have apples, we can make cider. Or apple pie. I would actually go with the apple pie. Damn it, now I want apple pie. Oh my god, I did this to myself. I did this to myself. But you know, I was actually gonna say, remember how they were making fun of the kid for eating lemon tarts? What did he do? He must have eaten someone's lemon tart, and now he's getting shit for it.
That room's as ragged as...
Warm apple pie with vanilla ice cream on top. That is the shit.
You two look like you could use something to eat. Here, courtesy of Martell.
Martell apples. A basket of Martell apples grown and picked by Cormac for sample by Hideaway residents.
Martell. Now, where have I heard that name before?
Weren't she the girl from the Furrows?
Course she was. An odd sort, that one. Loved plants more than people.
Aye, and brave as a bane might. Remember when she ran back into the hideaway to collect them trees when Titan attacked? Wait.
These aren't those apples, are they? Well, I'll be. She'd have been proud, and rightly so. Thank you, Sid.
Others weren't so lucky, though.
Them old apples were enough to curdle your guts. But these beauties are as sweet as you like.
I'll have to pay the boys down in the backyard a visit to tell them thanks.
Alright, Moogle, what you got for me?
What's the matter, Nectar?
Matter is this!
The hunt board. It's where the Cursebreakers post sightings of particularly fearsome beasts. Those that might pose a threat to our operations if they were left to roam free. Just because they can't be dealt with when they're spotted, doesn't mean they can't be dealt with later. Was that what you wanted to know?
Of course not. I knew all that already. Nectar the Bold, I love it.
Right. Well, leaving your mightiness aside for the moment, the people of Valisthea are going through a lot already. What with the Blight and the war. The last thing they need is ungodly fiends terrorizing them on top of everything else. So if the Cursebreakers are too busy to help, then perhaps I can. Or at least I can try.
Oh, so cute. About Nectar's adventures. Did I ever tell you about the time I visited the Great Continent, Kubo?
I don't think so.
Of course I did, because I've never been. What? Look at these wings. They look like the sort that can carry Moogle across countless leagues of open sea. Oh. They call me Nectar the Bold, not Nectar the Stupid. Oh my god, I love this little guy. What do we have? The Hunt Board. Reports of terrorizing countryside are posted on the Hunt Board in hopes that fearless, such as Clive, will take it upon themselves to hunt down and slay the notorious marks. It's only going to get easier from this point. A member of the Blood Axes stationed in Martha reported that he had been set upon in the marshes by otherworldly horror with a single staring eye. It flew at him on bony bat wings, scratching at him with claws black as night and sharp as razors. Naturally, he fled in terror, but if a battle-hardened Blood Axe cannot cope with the mere sight of such a creature, what hope did the rest of us have? So we kill this one. So you can actually kill these guys without actually accepting the mission. This just tells you where they are. Clairview, Samberky. A trader coming the way of Caer Novant met with a troop of curse breakers traveling in the opposite direction and warned them of a wicked winged harpy on the road ahead. His eyes wild and flickering, though the curse breakers saw nothing untoward on their own journey through their pass. The sound of cackling laughter from the trees ensnared they kept up a brisk pace. Cool. Ooh, 6,000. That's not bad for money. Broken Hilt Rosaria. Okay, so we can actually go toward the Rosaria. Reports have been received of the wild avis of striking size making its nest atop the hill of adjacent to Eastpool. Though all efforts are being made not to rouse the beast's ear, it is surely but a matter of time before it needs to feed. I hereby petition any brave volunteers to march to the northern border, that we might cut the fiend down before it makes trenches of nearby visitors. So can I, like, pick them up? No, they're just basically open. The Angel of Death and Belphegor. Okay, so we're calling them demons. Ahriman. Ahriman. I'm sorry. The first thing I think of is the nine-tailed fox from League of Legends. Ahriman. It's like, what? It's like, okay. Okay. Why not?
A gift from the backyard. For your service.
Jill putting herself on the board so Clive finally notices. What do you think she would label herself as? I don't know if she would label herself as a succubus. Maybe something else.
Blimey, these take me back. I haven't seen a hideaway apple since. Old Sid was the only one who could stomach the things. He'd nab them right from the branch, make Martel livid. Not that anyone could stay mad at the man for long.
That sounds like the Sid I knew, all right.
Planning on keeping that lot to yourselves, were you? Hang on. These aren't Martels, are they? I'm glad to see someone carried on what she started. Can't have been easy, not in the Deadlands. Reckon she'd be happy knowing all her hard work didn't go to waste. Clive, tell the lad down in the backyard to run some over for me, will you?
Not so much as a thank you. Well, I've got some manners at least. Thanks, Sid. You can leave the basket with me. I'll see that the others get their share. Oh, and give our compliments to the gardener, won't you?
That was the last of the apples. I should head to the backyard and pass along everyone's regards.
Can't remember the last time I had fresh fruit. Oh, I'm looking forward to this.
You can probably go this way. They call it a hunt board, but it's really Nectar's hit list. Nectar, now go out and hunt what I tell you. You're my assassin now. Is this a Devil May Cry reference? Killing all the demons so Nectar can collect their things and summon a much bigger demon?
Sid built this place.
Well, one can't really build what's been lying around for several thousand years, but it was his idea we claim it for our own.
We really need to go and open up one of those tombs and see what's inside. There was a gate. Shiva's Maiden requires a burning sword to break down her ice protection and target her weak spots. Nectar, you need to slay this icy succubus. Location
Much
is in your
water can a
bedroom.
flowered tree?
Reward is sex. Lots and lots of sex. Hopefully a baby or two. I don't think Nectar would outright say it. The reward could be 1 or 2 children will be the result of the mission. It's like, where is the succubus and where are the children? Oh, Clive, we're gonna make the children. You guys remember that Family Guy episode where you had the, what was it called? That bird that like carries children to parents? And like this lady's sitting in her bed and this bird comes through the door and she's like, oh, you're here to deliver the baby. Where's the baby? And he's like, you and me gonna make the baby. I think it's like a spork, I think it's called.
The Cursebreakers send their thanks. And their compliments. They were clearly very fond of Martel.
They remembered her. After all these years. I suppose she was very kind, even to a tongue-tied lummox like me. You were one of the good ones, Martel. Why did you have to die? She put everything into her work. She wasn't going to rest until we had fruit sweet enough to enjoy. And now we do. When she died, I named a sapling after her. And now it's a full-grown tree. Martel lives on through the fruit it bears.
And through you. Her dream would have died with her, had you not kept it alive. That's something to be proud of.
I didn't do anything really, but thank you. You're kinder to me than I deserve.
By the way, Otto's expecting some of your crop. And I wouldn't mind some of it either, if that's not too much to ask.
Of course not. I'll see that you're both well provided for. They like your fruit, Martel. Isn't that wonderful? I'd say it's about time we planted you some siblings, don't you think?
Was gonna say, you're gonna need more trees, buddy. Ah, thank you, Demiurge. The fruit of her labors. That's a nice legacy to have. It makes me wonder if other fruit and veggies are named in a similar way.
Just look at her. Isn't Martel in fine fettle? Pop him here. He's got some work.
Alright, we've done that mission. Journey to Hawk's Cry Cliff, the Gathering Storm. I mean, we can do that. That's like the only thing we can do. Damn it! I can't even do the hit list, can I? Oh, we're gonna hit Rosaria's stone, aren't we? Ha 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 ha! Mother dearest, go F yourself. We're gonna nab 2 birds with 1 Connie, ain't we?
Do you think it was wise to leave, Gav? He didn't seem pleased.
I needed his eyes and nose in Dhalmekia. I'm not about to let Kupka take us unawares. Besides, he has a knack for that sort of thing.
That he does.
And wasn't it Sid who said that matters such as these are best left to dominance? Especially should one of his beloved opportunities to grow and change present itself.
Oh, there's the new music again.
I always knew that I would return one day. Return to Ironhome.
For what?
Revenge.
After learning the truth, you were given the chance to face your past. If I am to continue at your side, I must do the same.
Hmm? What'd you do?
We will face it together then.
To the end.
Oh, Hutchins doing washing.
Come on.
Achan! Bloodlines. Damn it, Achan's doing the
How far do you
washing.
think your mother's reach extends? Will we find the same tragedy in the south as we did at Martha's Rest?
More than likely.
That one
Which
doesn't
is
need
why
to
we
be
should
washed.
hurry. There are still many settlements between here and Port Isolde. We visit as many as we can and hear their stories. Starting with the village of Amber.
Okay, this one doesn't need to be washed, but these will need to be washed, and this one will need to be washed. This one doesn't need to be washed, but this one will need to be washed. Yeah, this is a sports. I'm streaming with it right now. Hey. Those ones, yes. Sorry guys, Hachan was doing the washing. Jill, I want us to be together. For us. For this. Oh, Jill. Oh, so that's how it connects. Okay, so we're gonna get these villages. Right, and those are the bridges. I get you. And there I was wanting to do the other... Fine, whatever. My gamer instincts are telling me to explore this entire area.
Let's go.
Go, go, Chocobo. This way I don't have to fight. Oh, the Chocobos don't attack you if you're on another Chocobo. That's awesome. They used to always attack me and I never really wanted to kill them. That's a nice little detail. Look, they're chill. See? That is awesome. Alright, let's get whatever item's hidden over here. If this was Elden Ring, it would be like a hidden grave or something. Well, that just happened.
Straight home now.
Whose grave is this? Eh? I can see a castle. Help wanted. Slay Shiver's maiden. Tips.
Ready, go?
Bring a hot sword or spear to penetrate the ice and cold tension and target her weak spots for maximum damage. Okay, so that's that. Alright, I can get this item and then loop back around. Could you imagine playing this game without a chocobo? That's what you get for not doing side quests. No, 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 Jill, leave it. Damn it!
It's over.
Yeah, ignition keeps missing. It was directional.
To me, boy. Help me, boy.
Oh, F off! You were fighting the entire time in this little corner, and then you're like, oh, by the way, I am out of bounds. I'm gonna go leave now. Go F yourself. Go F yourself. Go F yourself. You came there yourself, attacked me here, fought here till you were on your last bar, and then you're like, oh, I'm out of bounds. I'm gonna go over there and reset my health. Oh, go f yourself. It's nice to see they didn't fix this in the most recent patch. Even Archer just closes the door. Oh, you son of a bitch. I feel that this is gonna become a compilation, the amount of times things reset for me. Wow, they don't actually give us as many potions as they used to. Yeah? Sucks to be you, doesn't it, buddy?
No holding back.
Alright, come here.
Too slow.
Whoop.
Well done, Torgal.
I like how he actually swears.
Nice try.
He's basically me at this point. Jill, imagine Clive upon seeing how that enemy pulled out just as we reached the climax of the battle. There are so many weird comments about this game. I especially like the review which said it's weird and harmful that Clive needs an unbearably long time to realize that yes, slavery is bad. And I'm like, did you stop playing before you even hit the prologue? A lot of reviewers don't actually play the games. A lot of reviewers just play chapter 1 of the game and then make a review. They don't actually play the game. They do one chapter. And they call themselves a reviewer. And even then, they have items that actually plays the game for them. Like, how do these people have a job? Why are they not unemployed and homeless? Like, they don't actually do anything.
Good girl.
I honestly don't listen to reviews for that very reason. They don't actually do their job. I just listen to other gamers.
Alright.
Who play similar games that I do, because then I get a review. And I get a comparison to games that I've already played. And then I can sort of tell if it's alright or not. Reviewers just suck nowadays. Or maybe they always sucked and we never noticed.
Mockery of justice is what it is. Lord Elwyn would never have stood for this.
Quiet, you! I think we're loyalists.
Jill, look.
Rosaria must be cleansed of the stain which befouls her, that she might rise once again from the ashes to welcome a new dawn. 'Twould be a pity to make examples of you all, for the transgressions of but a handful.
Of course, your lordship. You shall have our full cooperation.
What business could the Black Shields have in a village this small? There's barely room to hide a bearer.
Then they must be here for something else.
They're from the government and they're here to help. You know, liberate people.
See dancing a gallows jig like the miller's son?
All right. I heard you the first time.
Welcome, stranger.
I like how they're still selling these blades. Ooh, what's this? Increase limit break generation amount by 6% when taking damage. I don't really need that. Night terrors. Ooh.
I suppose we won't be seeing you again.
Excuse me, but what was all that about earlier?
You haven't heard? Someone's been stirring up trouble. There have been attacks on the garrison, supplies stolen. They even say a Black Shield was murdered. The Empire wants answers, and what the Empire wants, Empire gets.
Don't they just?
Keep your ears open, eh? The Black Shields will pay good coin for information on the culprits.
No, they'll just leave you alive.
You'd have to be dull as a sack of stones to think you could take on the Empire. What with their 100 full legions?
100? I heard it were 1,000.
It's probably closer to...
We're going hunting for outlaws. How'd you like that, boy?
There was a time my husband might have stood up to those men. Though back then, he wouldn't have needed to.
I really should be crafting items. Speak with several villagers. Speak with all of them.
2 more left to join the garrison this very morn.
At this rate, there'll be none left to help with the harvest.
That's what they do.
Word is, Port Isolde's closed her gates to all but the Highborn, and now a great camp sprung up along the walls.
If the Black Shields are SS, does that mean Clive's mum is Himmler? You know what a fun fact about Himmler is? He was a chicken farmer. And he couldn't stand blood. He would faint at the sight of blood.
Run along now, before one of the boys starts thinking you're something you're not.
It's always the weak ones, isn't it? weak ones are always the ones that are like, round them up!
What did those knights want, Father? Word is, Port Isolde's closed their gates to all but the highborn.
Speak with several of the villagers. They clearly want me to speak with one specific lot. But I don't know where the specific lot is. Because I've been speaking to all of them! This one, clearly.
You seen him, didn't you?
I'm sorry.
The black shields. Just now. You seen them, didn't you? At least I think they was the black shields. Can't say I ever saw one before.
They're not even carrying
Was this
shields.
the first time they visited the village?
What do you think? Amber's the arse end of nowhere. And they thought we might be harbouring firebrands. Huh. If only we were. I might have turned them in and become a black shield myself.
You don't think these firebrands the Empire is looking for could be us, do you?
I don't know.
How'd you get it?
But we need to find out.
Well, a black shield did die here in Martha's Rest, which is nearby. They could be looking for us. But if our goal is to get rid of these black shields anyway, why don't we just draw their attention and just kill them?
Greetings, friend. We are travelers.
I know that. What do you want?
We couldn't help noticing those Imperial soldiers who were here earlier.
Don't you go telling these strangers a thing. I speak for the people of this village, and we have nothing more to say to you. You are to leave Amber and never come back.
May I at least ask why?
I don't know who you are or what brings you here, but your presence puts us all in grave danger. The Empire is a harsh master. Its demands are great, and its justice swift. But as long as we keep our heads down and pay our tributes, we are left alone. Some might call it submission. But if it will spare my people the Viceroy's wrath, then I will gladly submit. This village will not become another East Pole.
Then we shall be on our way.
Can't blame the old bugger.
These people live with a knife to their throats. In the mistaken belief that if they cooperate, my mother will show them mercy.
Obedience bought with fear.
Are you all right?
Sorry, It's nothing.
It's
We
just
still don't know
PTSD.
who the Black Shields are looking for.
Well, whoever they are, the Imperials deem them worth pursuing to the back of beyond. But other than Martha, who else in Rosari would have the courage to stand against the Empire? A new ally would certainly be welcome. Can we find them before the Imperials do? Perhaps the next village will yield more answers.
Perhaps.
Ah, it loops around. Okay, I see. Yep. And they had her countrymen's throats slit if she didn't turn to Shiva. Talk about PTSD.
This pass will take us through the mountains.
And directly into the path of whoever or whatever lurks here.
Sounds good to me. By running to a ring wraith. Well, that was unexpected.
Ever since the Apollo tree, we've seen more and more of these echoes.
What do you think is waking them? Did the mother crystals collapse?
I have an idea. You're not going to like it.
Clive has gotten more aggressive. Yeah, we're gonna need to backtrack at some point and do the crystal that was previously opened. It's close to Eastpool here in the dim. There's like literally one here. Or one here. No, it's here. There's one right here before we went here to the dim. Actually, we can do it now, but let's not. I got a feeling that these are people. See? This is an awesome ability. Well worth investing in. So you get spiders and whatnot that end up being turned into these things. Humanoids end up being turned into those other things. So the entire planet's basically being turned into these things. Clive, I'm freezing. Can you use your body to warm me up? Not her countryman, that was a kid. Oh. Wow, that's cruel. Ugh. Where'd that come from? And this loops back to where we came from. Bingo! Wait, that's our destination? But then these guys are here. Are these the black shields? They are.
More of my mother's men.
Wow, that's a lot of ice crystals. She's getting a bit worked up herself. Okay, so those weren't the ones we were looking for. But there is plenty of them. How am I doing? I'm doing well. How are you doing, buddy? Alright, this one loops around. There's like nothing here. Except these things. Ooh,
Very well.
Oh, I gotta activate one of these things. What is this? Hey! This is like Final Fantasy 13. Ty, probably should have gone to sleep a few hours ago. You're awake at 2 AM. Yeah, probably. I was up late last night. My cousin downstairs was partying, so I couldn't sleep. Hutchin couldn't sleep, so we were just up. Alright, and then we go this way. Yeah, that 10-second cooldown on my fire ability is really handy. Well, 10-second reduction of cooldown on my fire ability. I think it's like a third of its cooldown. Its cooldown is probably like 30 seconds or something. Or maybe a full minute, I don't know. See, now we have more of these things. And another one of these. Cool. And where's the item? We're gonna collect the item here. And I'm just gonna heal you. Cool. I didn't realize, but I passed you earlier today in my playthrough. Oh, you did? Nice. So you're both watching it and playing. Damn. Are those chocobos? No, dragons.
Don't get surrounded.
Isn't this just awesome? Isn't it? We're just taking them out like nobody's business. Oh yeah, we gotta cross, so we gotta go around. Cool. No item hidden here. Oh no, we gotta go under. So there's an obelisk here, right? Yep, there is. Is there? Ah, crap. Well, that worked. Oh, blood. That's not good.
Blood,
That's a lot.
Clive.
That's a lot.
And still wet.
That is a lot of blood.
You were told to stay in your homes.
The Black Shields.
You know who we are. And still, you would bear your steel. Why then, we owe you our thanks. You have saved us the trouble of an interrogation. To dwell in darkness, that we may purge the night and welcome lasting dawn. On these, our swords we swear.
Say that again.
Imagine if you actually started saying it again, and you could just tell him to say it again, and he does it again. You know, killing the healer is usually a good strategy. Sucks to be you, buddy.
It's over.
With the amount of black shields that we're killing, you'd think they would get the message to stop coming. But they just keep coming. See ya, Demiurge. Have a good one, buddy. Oh, he's alive. Time for an interrogation.
Tell me what I want and the end will be swift. Who are you looking for?
Why, you. We come bearing a message. Your friends have been found. The branded you freed from our camps.
Uh-oh.
They await you in Oldhill. Guardians of the Flame.
Those are Old Hill's gates.
Then we hurry.
Ah, crap. There was a lot of blood too. They were probably throwing people over. That was good voice acting. The voice acting in this game is top notch. You can hear the wheezing and the struggling to breathe. I'm killing these guys. Hey guys! And it's almost strong enough to kill them all. Isn't that insane? Full health. Isn't that crazy? Sid alone deserve a nomination for VO of the Year. You know, it's hard because you also have Benedicta that did really well. Especially during the boss fight segments. And then afterwards when she lost Garuda. But Sid also did really well. But so did Clive. There's just so much goodness in this game. There's so much. You know it's good when you don't know who's better. Like, that's when you know it's really good.
Let's go.
Imagine auditioning for the parts. It's like, what noise would you make when someone eats the last Tim Tam? No! Give it back to me! Perfect. Perfect. Even the German dub goes hard. You know, I'd be curious to hear some of the German dub just because German, right? German is just wild. What are they saying? He's ordering tea. Why does it sound like he's declaring war? That's just German. Give it back to me. What scene was that? During the boss fight. Where you first get Garuda. Well, after the boss fight, technically. Not another village! Oh my god. This is turning into a plague tale.
Find something, boy. Death.
They're burning bodies, aren't they? But there would be thick black smoke, wouldn't there? Oh god.
Found her.
It's a pile, isn't it? No, that's worse than a pile. Wow. Were they alive? Yeah, they were alive. They were left like that, and the crows would have killed them. The crows picked them apart. What did this guy do?
This was my mother's doing.
Can we kill her, please?
But why? Why would anyone?
I don't know.
At this point,
I never truly understood her. But this...
Oh, Clive.
Can we just kill her?
I will learn what madness drives her, and I will end it. We should go.
Yes.
Clive's German got so much into his
We
role.
can't leave them here like this.
We won't.
Clive's German got
But
so
if
much
the
in...
Black Shields have made it this far south, they may already be in Port Isolde.
Clive's German got so into his role, he went to the gym to gain muscle so he can insert himself better into Clive as a character. I love that. Any excuse will do. I must have the chest! I love that! The passion! The passion! That's what it's about. Clive, sorry to say, but you really are a son of a bitch. More like a son of a witch. Is she even human? There is no human left. Like, humans don't do that. To innocent people that did nothing to nobody. Really? That's demonic. Humans don't do that. She's a demon. Wow, this guy died on the spot. I guess he's the lucky one, you know? Dying on the spot instead of being tied like that. That's like the Final Fantasy version of a crucifixion, you know what I mean? I can't drop the bridge, can I? Yeah, I'll have to check out what we can craft. But then again, we just get items which are a lot better. There's no real need. This guy was lucky, he just died on the spot. I'm just collecting money at this point. I'm sorry, it's just what I do. You have to loot the place. It's not like these people need it anymore. Jesus. And those were the people that were alive that they could string up. Everyone else just got killed. They should create a new category for the Game Awards. Most hated person. I think Clive's mother's going for that award. She really is. Lots of games have villains, but she's a villain. It also helps with the lip syncs to the English dub since they were used for motion capture. I wonder what the reason for that was. Was it just easier for the Western team to do the motion capture, or did the Western team just have all the equipment
you
there?
at bridge.
Because of Capcom.
Though I doubt the Empire would let us cross over to Rosalith.
Ah, so that's where Rosalith is. Because if I remember correctly, DMC3 was motion captured in Japanese. I don't remember 4 and 5. I don't know at which point the Western team took over.
Didn't happen to come by way of Oldhill, did you? Saw some Imperials clad in black making for the docks just the other day. The next morn, you couldn't see the sun for all the ravens.
I feel they wanted to really capture the Western market, so they made English the original language. That's one way to do it. Because Final Fantasy is a huge franchise. It's just that a lot of people don't touch it because it's anime-esque. So they had to make it darker, a bit like Devil May Cry. And it seems to be working really well. I mean, this is one way to sell a franchise. In honor of the 250th anniversary of the founding of the Grand Duchy of Rosario. I'm surprised they didn't destroy this obelisk.
They tell us there's a curfew, but then refuse us passage back to our homes.
We won't survive another night.
Passage to the provincial capital is restricted to Imperial Army personnel.
The gates are closed! Begone!
Oh, how am I to sell my wares if they won't let us into the capital?
They're all Rosarian.
But this is their home.
So the capital's that way.
I'm hungry.
Yeah, she's there. So she's not chilling at the kingdom capital, she's chilling in Rosaria.
You'll find no succor to the south travellers, nor beyond the Buet. The Empire has seen fit to banish us from our own land.
The Empire would have us live in the Deadlands.
It also went through a weird case where they made the script, the English team localized it, and then changed the Japanese script to more closely match the English script. Huh. Okay, so there's the shore. We have to check out the shore. Ooh, giant crabs. Devil crab! I wonder what the AoE range of this thing is. So close to being able to one-shot mobs. So close, so close. Pretty soon my AoE is just going to be able to one-shot mobs. But that's what happens. It used to be able to, but now they've gotten a little bit stronger. I think there's mob scaling in this game. With all the Western medieval setting influence, they probably contributed to using the English dub for the motion capture. I believe DMC 5 was also motion captured in English. Yeah, I believe so. Heal me, heal me, heal me, heal me. Go find something? Probably due to Capcom and the English Dante being iconic. Well, yeah. It
The
did
Lazarus. What happened to this place?
My mother happened. The nobles who lived here didn't stand a chance. Until my uncle fared better.
This architecture. Good old European stuff. I doubt we can actually enter.
We should start with the main gate and see where that gets us.
What's on the beach? The fact that I can just do this is insane. Perhaps never stood a chance. And it's almost a fifth of the way through the cooldown. I love this ability. Alright, there must be something on this dock. There's always an item or something. Okay, here's one.
That's the main gate. And it looks like we're not the only ones hoping to get in.
Black shields? They're not even carrying shields. They should have called them black swords. Black armor. Nah, it doesn't have a ring to it.
Let us pass! My children are starving!
Have mercy.
Viceroy's dogs they are! You can't ignore us forever!
Let us in, or we'll die on your doorstep!
Better out there than in here!
More than enough reckless!
Hang the chinless bastards! Those crystals belong to us all! I said, away with you, filth! Back to your sties! Cut you down where you stand! Destroy it!
No chance of slipping through unnoticed. We'll need to find another way in.
Can't we just go through the guards? See ya, pepper cats. Sleep well.
I thought we might be able to reason with the guards. Or at least bribe them.
I suspect everyone in that crowd thought the same. Was that the only way in?
Officially, yes. Strictly speaking, no. My uncle once told me that the nobles had tunnels built, so that they could visit town without having to walk amongst the rabble. The Lazarus. We'll find our way into the city there.
If you're sure. And the entire place looked abandoned. Do you think it's safe?
As long as it is abandoned.
Poor people. The motion cap for how they move is the Japanese actors. Cloud and Tifa's motion capture actors are actually Clive and Jill's motion
The
capture
good news
actors.
is we haven't seen a single black shield since Old Hill.
Maybe they found who they were looking for.
Which is why you might see some resemblance in physical mannerisms. No wonder Clive looks emo all the time. Lazarus District. Imagine that.
This is nothing like I remember it.
How quickly a crown can lose its luster.
I wouldn't call Clive or Cloud emo, they're just dealing with their own issues. But they're emotional, are they not? Alright, I gotta be careful, I might actually be maxed out on these items. Oh, lucky some of these are 999. Yeah, we seem to have a fair few. Apples? Why do I have apples? Oh, displayed in the chambers. Got it. Imagine wanting to visit this place without having to walk amongst the rabble and going into a dirty tunnel. Watch, the tunnel's not actually going to be dirty. It's going to be decorated.
Not abandoned then.
Hmm?
Oi! Visitors!
Apologies. We'll show ourselves out. Or not.
Tell me this ability isn't awesome? Phoenix is OP, man. It's my favorite ability. Explosion!
I've only ever seen one man fight like that. And he's long dead.
Uh-oh.
Perhaps it's time you joined him.
No, don't kill him. He's probably your friend.
Blessing of the Phoenix. It can't be. I was there when you died.
How were you not dead? No, you were saved by Joshua.
Forgive me, my lord. I knew not whom I addressed. You have naught to fear from us.
He just grabbed the axe by the bottom. What the F? What the F? What the F? How did he not break his wrist?
No, wait.
What the F? All the weight is on the tip and he just grabs it by the bottom and swings it. How the F? He must have the mightiest wrist in all the kingdoms.
We can speak inside.
How the F did he do that? I swear that must be a glitch. He grabbed the axe by the bottom and just like, yonk. It was one of the soldiers. He was a knight. He's a knight.
Oh. And those who wouldn't bend the knee?
We left before the Empire could make examples of us, though we didn't go far. And we banded together to form the Guardians of the Flame soon after. Alas, there is only so much a handful of aging shields can do against the might of an empire. But we've seen to it that their stay has been anything but pleasant. Of late, though, we've had our hands full just trying to keep the Duchy's few remaining bearers out of the Imperial's clutches.
The Cullings. We saw what happened in Old Hill.
Aye, the foul work of the Black Shields and their mistress.
You mean my mother? But it doesn't make sense. Even knowing what I know about her. Her hatred for bearers was no secret, but she wouldn't have been ignorant of their value to the realm.
No offense, my lord, but in case you haven't noticed, the Lady Annabella couldn't care less about the realm. She barely even cares for her own home. That much has been plain since the slaughter at Eastpool.
She's a demon.
Since granting the Holy Emperor a new heir, her obsession with bearers only seems to have grown. As to why, I don't know. Maybe she can't bear the thought of anyone having the power to challenge her beloved son.
Her son.
Sir Wade, the Black Shields have broken camp. They march in full force for Buick Bridge. Then so do we. Make ready. This is their main host. If we remove the head, perhaps we can prevent what happened at the docks from happening somewhere else. If I do nothing, then the blood of their next victims will be on my hands.
Yours and ours. We too have witnessed the crimes these men who dare call themselves shields have committed in my mother's name. It cannot be allowed to continue. We must put a stop to this madness.
We must. So let us go with you. For the good of Rosaria.
I was hoping you'd say that. Very well. If that is your wish, I would be honored to serve at your side.
And we at yours.
So, Wade, let us do our duty.
With pleasure, my lord.
I would lose it if her beloved son turns out to be a Joffrey. Isn't that what she's hoping?
I imagine this endeavor will require more than just our wits.
Then let's hope Sir Wade has a good quartermaster.
If I can buy items better than the gear that I am currently wearing from a band of outlaws, I will lose it.
I suppose we owe you our thanks. You spared us when you could have just as easily sent us to the mud.
Oh, buck up, man. At least you're not dead.
We'll show them that the fire in our hearts is not so easily quenched. The Black Shields won't know what hit them.
You're telling me that's the Archduke's son?
In the flesh. Saw him once when I was your age. He had that same look in his eyes.
Allow me to tend to your needs, my lord.
He literally has the same gear as all the other guys. It's like nothing special. What is this elixir? Affluent nobles obsessed with finding the secret to eternal life have created an unprecedented demand for this quality herbal concoction, therefore rarely used outside of battle. As such, its asking price has bloated to so great an extent that few soldiers can actually afford it. Instantly restore all HP. That's expensive. But then again, your HP bar might be massive in late game, so you know.
It has been an honor.
Tell us then, Sir Wade. What is your plan?
Tsukarashbi! You, Lady Jill and I make for Buett Bridge and provoke the main host at their encampment.
See?
Sensing an opportunity to end the Guardians, the Black Shields will call for reinforcements, who will be met from the rear by parties of my brothers hidden throughout the surrounding hills. This will allow us to wage battle on the bridge without fear of being overwhelmed. While the Black Shields have an advantage in numbers, you see, they prefer to fight in small units, which we can use to our advantage.
How small exactly?
Small enough, now that I have you and Lady Jill for company. I doubt I could have done this on my own.
But until we arrived, that was your plan. You haven't changed a bit.
So wait. The bearers from Old Hill have been laid to rest.
Very good. Now make ready for battle.
As you command.
Thank you, Sir Wade. Perhaps now they will find peace.
There is but one thing which will grant them peace. Putting an end to the Black Shields.
And so we shall.
Party members. Through the main scenario, Clive will often be joined by various companions who are keen to lend their assistance. However, depending on Clive's destination, they may choose to remain behind at the hideaway. This guy doesn't even know about the hideaway.
We'll keep them from the bridge. Don't you worry.
You'd better. Brother Wade's life depends upon it.
May the blessing of the Phoenix go with you.
Oh, we'll bring the Phoenix, alright.
How long have you been pursuing the Black Shields?
Since they burned their first village. We tracked down the bastards responsible and fed their corpses to Stillwind. Suffice to say, that got their attention. It's been a game of cat and mouse ever since.
Oh, you can rein her in, so you can actually stop her. Wow, that's a quick stop.
Look at me sideways. How was the Black Shields?
Here we go.
Come along now. We'll find another bridge.
We'll find another bridge? Yeah, there's just bridges everywhere. Let's see. Don't use that one. Don't use that one. Rarely use that one. Really actually jump. This probably increases distance. What does this increase? Striking an enemy increases the number of lock-ons. Increases hit radius. Number of hits. Yeah, it's single target though. We'll be alright.
The bastards are lucky I didn't have my axe.
There they are. On your command, my lord.
See? No shields.
What is it now? I told you! We bear a message for the Viceroy. From the Guardians of the Flame. Ha! You presume to tell us that a pair of filthy vagabonds,
I'm hungry.
a woman and a dog, could guard aught against the might of the Black Shields? Then come! Die along with your flame!
My god, that was a loud growl.
For Azaria!
Don't just run in, you fool!
Your petty revolution ends here. On these our swords we swear.
Phoenix time! Anyone think that the Phoenix wings look like Devil May Cry 5?
Bloody hell! Reinforcements from the far bank!
Another wyvern to fight their battles for them.
Ah, crap. Ah, yes, another wyvern, because you're called wyvern.
Well done, Toggle.
More dragons.
Oh, god damn it, what did it? I should have locked him on.
The Imperials aren't taking any chances. I can't say I'm flattered.
What's to me? That worked. Unless there's a boss fight.
A noble stand, albeit a misguided one. In taking it, you have but proven our point, that this land is in dire need of cleansing.
Okay, imagine this. They're fighting, and he's like, now's my chance. He runs all the way up the stairs. Jumps up on the thing. Now's my chance to jump down and look epic. The first guy did it. Yeah, that's what we do. We're dragoons. But why do you do that? It's what being a dragoon is all about. They have to climb to the top just so they can jump down. It's what to do. It's, yeah. The Black Shield armor is going to melt nicely in the Phoenix's flame. Indeed. I wonder if he changed his attack pattern to last time. No, he didn't. It's the same attack pattern. What a disappointment.
Nice try.
What a disappointment.
To me, boys.
How disappointing. I like it that it's a remix of the original theme that played when we fought him.
Give me thunder!
Metal, electricity works really well together. Look at that burst damage.
So wait! Found her. There's no one left to keep them occupied. We need to finish this.
You mean finish him? To me, boy. Too slow.
Whoops.
To me, boy.
Yay, didn't need a potion. This one is Night of the Not Lasting Dark. Eh. Ooh, used in crafting. They all fight the same way too.
I don't see any more.
Nor do I. The plan worked.
It did. It bloody worked. We sent every last one of the rotten bastards straight to the mud. My, Lord. Perhaps this will be enough to stop the Cullings. For the time being, at least.
Perhaps. Though I doubt my mother will take this loss well. She'll move swiftly to see her minions' ranks replenished.
And then it will all begin again. I often wonder if the nation we once knew is gone for good. Her fields rot. Her people starve. We battled to preserve the flame that was, but for every foe we fell, another springs up in its place. Yet be that as it may, it is still our home, and we must fight for it. As we always have, and always will. For as long as the Firebird's flame burns in our hearts, the Duchy cannot die. And her loyal subjects may dream of a day when the Rosarian standard flies over Rosalith once more.
So wait,
Think we should fall back to Port Isolde before the garrison sends reinforcements? A sound strategy, my lord.
And Jill's like, you know what they say about a lord? He has to continue his bloodline. Put a baby in me, Clive! Have you guys seen Drawn Together? You've got like Toots, which is the black and white like sex symbol from the 60s or 70s or 80s. And you've got Xander, the guy that's always there to rescue his girlfriend. Well, Xander is Clive. He's here to avenge his brother. And meanwhile, Jill is just like, would you just put it in me already? It's a good show. Watch it. It's funny. It couldn't be made today, though.
And how long has my uncle been funding you and your comrades' endeavors?
Since the beginning. Lord Byron was the first person I turned to after forming the Guardians. And had I known of this tunnel back then, I wouldn't almost have been hanged by the city guard for trying to sneak over the wall.
I suppose a formal request for an audience would have appeared suspicious.
And appearances must be maintained. Were the Vice-Regency to catch wind of Lord Byron's involvement in our movement, they'd seize his estate and send him to the gallows, where he would be of no use to anyone. And so, though it sickens him to the soul, he plays the part of the loyal lord, knowing that one wrong move might prove his downfall. It is why he remains ever vigilant. Don't be surprised if he refuses you an audience, especially since you're famously dead.
Then I will have to think of a way to prove that I am neither wraith nor wrongdoer.
I might have something which could help with the latter.
Another seal? A pin?
It's the mark of the Guardians.
Ha!
Display it, and those who love Rosaria will know where your loyalties lie.
Another one. This is the third one.
I shall wear it with pride.
Be sure that you do. I don't want my men attacking you again. Unless you deserve it. If only Sir Tyler could have been here to see you. Or the Lord Commander.
Thank you, Sir Wade. If there is ever anything you need.
I know. Go on now, my lord.
That was nice. A blast from the past. It was nice. Oh, here we go, a cutscene. She's gonna do something evil. What? She's gonna be something evil. She's gonna eat a puppy or something. Oh, no, it's just us. Huh.
How accommodating. Do you really think they believe we are who we say we are?
Not a chance.
Heavy footsteps. Must be a lord or someone with armor.
Right, I guess. My uncle believes we're imposters here to rob him. And means to string us up himself.
Imagine my surprise when I was told my nephew had come to visit. Clive Rosfield died long ago. And for uttering his name here, you shall pay with your tongue!
I like how the sword was removed.
You would mock me as well?
It is I, Sir Crandall of Camelot, loyal servant to Her Serene Holiness, Saint Sybil the Unshod.
Meadow, thou vile sorcerer, for thy crimes against church and crown, I shall have thy head.
Curse thee, infectious flax wench. Even in death, must thou plague me still? Very well. I shall open the gates of hell, that thou might see thy charge once more.
Bravo, Uncle. You're still the finest Meadow in the twins.
Oh, Clive, my dear boy, it's really you. You always were fond of that scene from The Saint in the Sanctuary.
never did let me play Sir Crandall.
I have a favor to ask, Uncle Byron.
Rutherford, inform the kitchens. There'll be guests. We dine immediately.
But, Uncle...
You can't very well regale me with the tale of your miraculous preservation on an empty stomach. Go on, sit. See that you use the good plates, Rutherford. So you arrived late to one of her cullings, did you?
One of?
Since becoming Vicereine, Annabella has been a constant thorn in Rosaria's side, but these atrocities are a new low. Something has changed. Quite what, I don't know, but the woman we knew is gone, and a monster sits in her place.
Or the monster was always there.
For better or worse, I've been charged with governing this town, and thus must maintain the illusion of obedience.
She was called a monster.
That's all I can do to aid Wade and his merry band of revolutionaries.
So he's told us. You have risked much for Rosaria. Our nation will be forever in your debt.
So Clive was a theatre kid. That explains the leather pants. Uncle Byron, and this must be your wife, right, Clive? Jill. Yeah. Right, Clive? What is the matter? He never consummated the marriage! I mean, the leather pants were his father's.
It has been 20 years, Clive.
Holy shit, 20 years. Dude, that's like a scary thing. It's like 20 years. It's like, fuck, man. That's... wow.
The nation your father and your forefathers fought to defend is no more. Perhaps it would be otherwise had I the courage of my brother.
I'm surprised she didn't kill him. Maybe he has too many resources.
All right, if it's a ship you require, a ship you shall have. I've a galley in port, but recently relieved of her cargo. She can be outfitted for the voyage in a matter of weeks.
So you believe us, then? About everything?
Believe you? Ha! Only a fool would believe even half of the things you claim. But until tonight, only a fool would have believed my nephew still lived. And besides, I have it on good authority that Clive is telling the truth.
Whose authority?
On your own, of course. You've always been a terrible liar.
Is that true?
It's not untrue.
Let's say no more about it, eh? It wouldn't do to linger on my nephew's greatest failing.
Oh! She winked. I mean, he winked. He knows. He knows.
The one thing I cannot believe, though, is all this about you being Sid. You were always such a good boy. But now you're quite the outlaw. Which, if I'm not mistaken, would make me an outlaw's uncle.
He's also a son of a
then,
bitch.
Who shall we pillage first? Rutherford, fetch me my cutlass. This will be fun.
Jill's thinking, I wish he'd pillage me. Pillage me, Clive. Pillage me. Pillage me like I owe you money. God. This is just inappropriate, but I can't stop.
Over there.
It's just too funny. The uncle is technically his mom's cousin too, since Clive's mom and dad were first cousins. Thanks
Once
for reminding
outfitted,
me.
she'll bear us across the boiling sea to Drustinus in the space of 3 days.
Something on your mind?
Hmm?
Monsters.
Ah, yes, that. Ooh.
When I served the Iron Kingdom, I did so because I saw no other choice. Because once they learned that Lash would not move me, they turned it on those who could. And so I became their puppet. I let them pull my strings, telling myself it was not my hand that swung the sword, but another's. I removed myself from the truth so I wouldn't feel the pain it caused. And before I knew it, I no longer felt anything. Anything at all.
Hug her.
I had become a monster.
Jill.
I don't want to be a monster, Clive. Do you understand? I want to choose a different path, a better path. To live on my own terms. But before I can do that, I need to come to terms with my past.
And when you do, I'll be standing there with you, just as you stood with me.
Be careful what you say, Clive. She'll hold you to it.
Thank you, Clive. I must atone for my sins. Only then, when it's done, will the monster cease to be.
Just promise me that you won't die with it. Now, let's get some sleep. The journey back to Benamir is long, and there is much to tell the others.
Poor girl. Poor girl. Poor girl. Poor girl. She's been through a lot. One can only imagine what would have happened to all the slave girls after she was lost. They would have probably murdered most of them. Poor girl. Alright, quick little break, and we'll play a little bit more. Quick little break. That was good. This is good storytelling. It's very good storytelling. I like it. I like you, I like you, I like you. But Mummy's gotta go down. Mummy's gotta die. It's not that the woman they knew is gone and there is a monster in her place. The monster was always there. You can see that from the first time you saw her. She was always a monster. She was never not a monster. You can put pretty clothes on a monster, it's still a monster. Jesus. Like, red flags everywhere, man, but everyone just ignored it. It's like, oh, I'm just ignoring the red flags, and oh, I wonder why everyone's dying around me. I wonder why. Too slow, buddy! Too slow!